Hey there, fellow Americans. Breaking news that's going to change lives across the nation. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's groundbreaking bill has just been signed, and it's bringing massive Social Security payment increases that will hit bank accounts this Tuesday. We're talking about payments of $2,650 and $4,850 that could be landing in your account. Before we dive into all the details about this game-changing development, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss out on crucial updates about your benefits and financial news that could put more money in your pocket. In a historic move that's sending waves through Washington, Chuck Schumer's long-awaited Social Security reform bill has finally crossed the finish line. But what does this mean for you and your family? The answer might surprise you, and it's better than many Americans expected. This isn't just another minor adjustment. We're looking at one of the most significant increases in Social Security payments in recent history. Let's break down exactly what's happening with these newly approved payments. The Senate has given the green light to two distinct payment tiers, $2,650 for eligible individuals and $4,850 for qualifying households. But here's the burning question on everyone's mind: who qualifies for these enhanced payments? The criteria have been carefully structured to ensure that those who need it most will receive these crucial funds. The $2,650 payment is primarily targeted at individual Social Security recipients who have been receiving benefits for at least 6 months and have an annual income below certain thresholds. For single filers, this means having an adjusted gross income of less than $75,000 in their most recent tax filing. But what about married couples and joint filers? This is where the $4,850 payment comes into play, designed specifically for households where both spouses are receiving Social Security benefits and their combined annual income falls below $150,000. You might be wondering about the timing of these payments. The Tuesday rollout isn't just a random date, it's part of a carefully orchestrated plan to ensure smooth distribution. The Social Security Administration has been working behind the scenes for weeks to prepare their systems for this massive undertaking. But here's something crucial you need to know: while the payments are set to begin this Tuesday, they'll be distributed in waves. So, what determines when you'll receive yours? The distribution schedule is based on several factors, including the last 4 digits of your Social Security number and your usual payment date. Recipients with numbers ending in 033 will be in the first wave, 3466 in the second wave, and 6799 in the final wave. But don't worry if you're in the later groups, all payments are guaranteed to be distributed within a 2-week window. Now, let's address another critical question. How does this affect those receiving SSI, Supplemental Security Income, or SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance? The good news is that these recipients haven't been forgotten. The bill includes specific provisions to ensure that disabled Americans and those with limited income receive their fair share of these increased payments. In fact, some SSDI recipients might qualify for both their regular payments and these new supplemental amounts. But here's something you absolutely need to know: there are specific steps you might need to take to ensure you receive your payment. While many recipients will receive their payments automatically, some might need to verify their information or update their direct deposit details. Have you checked if your information is up to date with the Social Security Administration? This simple step could be the difference between receiving your payment on time or facing delays. The impact of these increased payments cannot be understated. With inflation continuing to affect everyday Americans, these funds could provide crucial relief for millions of households. Think about it: how would an extra $2,650 or $4,850 help your family? From covering medical expenses to catching up on bills or even creating a small emergency fund, these payments could be life-changing for many recipients. One of the most impressive aspects of this bill is how it addresses the varying needs of different age groups. Senior citizens aged 65 and above will receive additional considerations, especially those with higher medical expenses. But what about younger recipients on SSDI? The bill has provisions for them too, ensuring that age doesn't become a barrier to receiving the support they need. The funding for these increased payments comes from a combination of sources, including budget reallocations and closing certain tax loopholes. But here's an interesting detail many people don't know: the bill also includes measures to ensure the long-term sustainability of the Social Security program. This isn't just about immediate relief, it's about strengthening the system for future generations. Something that's particularly noteworthy about this bill is its bipartisan support. In today's polarized political climate, how did Schumer manage to gather enough votes from both sides of the aisle? The answer lies in the bill's careful balance of immediate assistance and long-term fiscal responsibility. This collaborative approach could set a precedent for future Social Security reforms. Recipients should also be aware of potential scams that might arise. Unfortunately, whenever there's a major benefit increase, scammers try to take advantage. Have you received any suspicious calls or emails about these payments? Remember, the Social Security Administration will never call you asking for personal information or payments to process these benefits. All legitimate communication will come through official channels. The bill also includes provisions for future cost of living adjustments, COLA. This means that these increased payments aren't just a one-time boost, they're part of a larger strategy to ensure Social Security benefits keep pace with inflation. But what does this mean for future benefit calculations? The new formula takes into account various economic indicators to provide more accurate adjustments. For those wondering about taxation, the bill includes clear guidelines. These supplemental payments will be treated similarly to regular Social Security benefits for tax purposes. However, there are some important differences you need to understand. Have you consulted with a tax professional about how these payments might affect your overall tax situation? The implementation of these payments also comes with enhanced protections for recipients. The bill includes stronger fraud prevention measures and improved appeal processes for those who believe their payments were incorrectly calculated. But what should you do if you think there's an error in your payment amount? The bill establishes a streamlined review process to address such concerns quickly. Looking ahead, these payments could have significant positive effects on the economy. When millions of Americans receive these increased benefits, the additional spending power could stimulate local economies across the country. Have you thought about how these payments might benefit your community as a whole? There's also an important environmental aspect to this bill that many people might not be aware of. The legislation includes provisions for paperless payment options and digital communication preferences, reducing the environmental impact of benefit distribution. But what if you prefer traditional paper checks? Don't worry, you'll still have that option. For caregivers and family members who help manage Social Security benefits for others, the bill includes new resources and support systems. This includes improved online tools and dedicated customer service lines. But what documentation will you need to help manage someone else's increased benefits? The requirements remain similar to current protocols, with some minor updates for security purposes. The bill also addresses some long-standing issues with Social Security's infrastructure. This includes funding for modernizing computer systems and improving customer service. But how will these improvements affect your ability to access information about your benefits? The goal is to make the system more user-friendly and accessible for all recipients. One particularly innovative aspect of the bill is its approach to emergency situations. The legislation includes provisions for expedited payments during natural disasters or other crisis situations. But what qualifies as an emergency under these new rules? The criteria have been carefully defined to ensure help reaches those who need it most when they need it most. It's worth noting that these increased payments are just one part of a larger effort to modernize and strengthen the Social Security system. The bill includes various other provisions that will be implemented over time. But what other changes might we see in the coming months and years? The groundwork has been laid for continued improvements to the program. Remember, staying informed about these changes is crucial. Have you signed up for the Social Security Administration's email updates? This is one of the best ways to ensure you don't miss any important announcements about these new payments or future changes to the program. As we wrap up this discussion about these historic Social Security payment increases, it's important to remember that this is just the beginning of positive changes to come. The success of this bill could pave the way for more reforms and improvements to our social safety net. But what role can you play in ensuring these changes continue to benefit those who need them most? For the most up-to-date information about these payments and future developments, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. We're committed to bringing you the latest news and detailed explanations about Social Security benefits and other financial matters that affect your daily life. Have questions about these new payments? Drop them in the comments below, and we'll address them in our next video. Together, we can navigate these changes and ensure everyone gets the benefits they deserve.